Cardio done, classes attended, a little bit of homework completed, and the pre has been drank. I ran out of beta-alanine though. I need to order more. I guess I'll go to hostilesupplements.com. No, but I mean, yeah, you get what I'm saying. So, legs. Let's think about this for a little bit. What is my basic plan for legs? So I'm hoping that the rec center is not that packed because, I actually never really planned on doing legs at the rec just because they only had one leg extension and one leg curl, which, that's the last thing you want to see. Like, it's gotten bad before. I've seen 8 people in circulation on the leg extension. That is, let's just say that's not a situation that I want to be involved in whatsoever. But luckily they doubled up. They added another leg extension and another leg curl. So it never gets that busy. I don't mind working in, assuming it's not like a massive group. So, it's whatever. Right? You got to share the space. Nobody can just own it. But speaking of the hamstring curl, that's probably going to be my first movement just because I can't really think of a better starter for hams, Like, sure, you got RDLs, you got like stiff leg deadlifts, but I don't know. I almost feel like those are more so like movements where I'd want to go a little bit lighter and kind of focus on the squeeze on my hamstrings. Like, I really couldn't think of a movement where I'd be able to just do more damage to them than either a seated or a laying hamstring curl. So since all they have here is seated, that's what I'm going to use. So probably a couple of sets double leg, maybe a couple of sets single leg, just kind of to add variability. But it's still the same thing. It's like doing a set of curls alternating at the same time or, doing one at a time. You're still hitting the same muscle. It's really just kind of a way to change it up. But a little bit of that, kind of do some damage. Maybe do some RDLs. They have a little bit of an RDL machine, which is kind of cool. It's sort of like just lever arms. I mean, I guess you'll see in a couple of minutes, but I don't mind it. Honestly, I think my favorite, well, how about this? My second favorite setup for RDLs is RDLs on the Smith machine. Something about the fact that the bar's movement is constrained, it just kind of makes me feel a little bit more stable and I can just focus on my hamstrings instead of having to worry about like stabilizers or whatever. Because you got to think, if you're doing them with like a barbell or with dumbbells, obviously it's not that hard to just maintain your balance, but you do kind of have to actively think about it. That's kind of why I like machines, just because you don't have to focus on any of those stabilizers or anything like that. All you have to focus on is going hard. So by the time I've done 8 sets of hamstring curls and RDLs, probably more so on the hamstring curl side, I'll hop on the leg extension. And then quads, I don't know what I want to do. I guess we'll kind of see. There's a machine leg press here that I kind of like. Something about the axis of it or whatever, because it kind of has a little bit of a pivoting motion. Something about that I kind of like. I don't really ever love like the plate loaded leg presses. I don't know. They just don't usually do it for me. So maybe some of that, potentially some squatting, maybe not super heavy. I'll see how my adductor feels. I've been kind of flaring it up. Like, I never have a moment of like injury when I'm fucking around on squats. But if I squat super heavy, it just hits me in the adductor. And the next day I can feel it. So I've been trying to add in some more adductor work and a little bit of stretching to try to counteract that. But, quads will be leg extensions, potentially some pressing, maybe some sissy squats. We'll have to see. They don't have a Smith machine in here yet, but I'm pretty sure one is coming. So the Smith machine, come on. We should be far beyond hating on the Smith machine. Okay, that's a goddamn good piece of equipment. So, nothing else to say. Right, I'm going to get in there, warm up my calves a little bit, pre-hamstrings, just because before you do any kind of hamstring curl, like obviously you're really hitting your hamstring, but your calves kind of come into play too. They have a little bit of a, let's just say, they play a little bit of a role in the curl. And if I don't warm up my calves, sometimes I'll get a little bit of a pinch in the back of my knees that I don't like. So if I can freaking deal with that by doing a little bit of a warm up, then that's perfect. Same shit with leg extensions or, my knees, right? I can't just jump straight into heavy leg extensions or straight into heavy squats. I start light, warm up the area, and then when I'm ready, I load up as much weight as I can handle for a legit set. So let's just get in there. So this machine, the stack is not heavy enough for both legs at once. So instead of just doing a light double leg set to start, I'll just go a little bit heavier than half the stack and start with some single leg sets, right? So per leg, it'll be heavier. I can't do the whole stack with one leg yet. At least I wouldn't be comfortable trying to do it. So I think I'll just start off with 1 or 2 sets, single leg heavy. And once I get fatigued enough, I'll move on to double leg sets. There's nothing special about one or the other. And honestly, I'd prefer to do double just because it's quicker, But sometimes I like doing one at once because it lets you focus on that single muscle, right? You basically have like twice the conscious effort on one rather than splitting your attention between both. I don't think it matters too much, but just adds to training variability. Okay. Oh my goodness. Actually, okay, I lied. Let's just do 2 more single leg. Okay. 2 more sets of RDLs, right? Relatively light, really just squeeze the hamstrings, and then come back. 2 sets of double leg hamstring curls. I mean, even just after those 4 sets, I'm already feeling pretty pumped. Oh. All right. So this is the RDL machine I was talking about. It's cool, but I mean, it's pretty basic, It's not that much different, honestly, than if I were to do these on a Smith machine. But it's what I have available. So when I do these, I've got a rounded back. It's not that much weight, If I kept a stiff back, I'd end up activating a ton of my erectors, my glutes. Like, obviously, you're not going to want to do any rowing with a rounded back. I don't know. Do whatever you want. This is a do as whatever. Do whatever you want. You don't have to do it like me. Okay. Oh, when it comes to actually flexing your hamstrings, you're just gonna have to freaking learn how to do it. I kind of imagine like almost trying to pull my butt into my calves, but I mean, you just heard that. It probably didn't make that much sense. So just honestly, just kind of figure it out. Last two movements for hamstrings, just full stack on the seated curl. And, you know, I'll try to squeeze the reps in the beginning when I'm strong, but, you know, I'm going to burn out with partials. So let's just get hams finished up. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm very satisfied with this fucking hamstring pump. So let's I'm gonna warm up on the leg extension a little bit, and then we can see what the first working set is gonna be. All right, so leg extensions it is. I don't understand why you guys are leg extension haters, man. Apart from maybe if you're in the subculture of dudes, or the subgroup where it just destroys your knees, then I guess you're valid. But for the most part, dude, I say this is the best fucking quad isolator, at least. I won't say, like, you know, pound for pound the best quad builder, but I'd say 80% of all my quad work has come from leg extensions. And I've got I got a set of wheels on me. They're not, like, insane. Like, if you look at me, you know, with shorts on, no shirt, it's not like my legs jump out at you, but they're not slacking. I'll say this, in terms of lagging body parts, I want to work on my triceps more, but everybody can have bigger legs. I can fucking guarantee you do not have legs so overdeveloped that people tell you, hey man, you got to hit upper body too. That's a fucking fantasy world. So no reason you should be skipping them fucking ever. But let's just throw the stack around. Probably 1 or 2 sets, but that's just a prediction. I honestly might sit here for all 8. We'll just have to find out. This is a light stack. 2 more. Okay, 1 more.
I start with a weaker leg first and match the reps on the strong one. Every time I do a single-sided movement, I say that, but I think it's worth mentioning multiple times, right? So if this one hits quote-unquote failure at 20, but this one could maybe get 25, the fact that it's bigger, I don't want it to get so much work, so I'll call it a 20. If you're worried about imbalances, just keep lifting, they'll go away. Unless they're like insane, just by getting bigger and more developed. These little nuanced things, for one thing, you're probably the only one that notices them, but they'll just gradually sort of fade out into symmetry. I'm gonna change my technique a bit up for this one. So instead of doing, 15 whatever reps on the left leg, and then, same number on the right, I'm gonna do a little bit of a, I don't even want to call it a drop set because I'm not dropping the weight. Let's just call it okay, whatever. Let's just call it a drop set for simplicity's sake. So I'm gonna do 5 reps on the left leg, then 5 on the right, 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Do that a couple of times back and forth until I feel pretty fatigued. I don't have to hit absolute failure, or at least that's not what I'm thinking in my mind. But I want to make sure I do those alternating sets and seriously go hard. And then I'll finish with a burnout of double leg. So 5 on the left, 5 on the right, back and forth, and then immediately some double leg just to kind of finish them off. And then after this, I'm gonna do some sissy squat, or some sissy hack squats. That'll feel pretty good next. Knees are feeling bulletproof at the moment, but I'm not gonna test it, I'm not gonna go heavy on these hack squats. Okay. That's enough leg extensions for now. I may come back, but let's go do the hack squats. Following arguably the king of hack squats advice, Tom Platz, I'm doing a little bit of a close stance, duck-footed foot position, and then I'm trying to put as much tension on my quads as possible. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this out of the blue to like jump into, because I'm not saying it's going to destroy your knees, but you're probably more likely to fuck yourself up doing this if you've never done it before. So let's just see what I have in the tank with 2 plates. Okay. Oh. So I know that looks kind of stupid, failing a rep and then literally just fucking doing a rep right afterwards. But on that last rep, where I actually re-racked it, that's where I use my glutes to help me. Let's do one more like that. Slight change of plans. Pre-exhaust with leg extensions, and then go on to the hack squat. Now I'm not going to do 2 plates. I took one off the side. Okay, that's enough. Okay. Let's do I don't know yet. I gotta think about it and take a breath. Oh my goodness. Come on. Oh, fuck. I'm very satisfied with that. Oh my God. I think I'll just sit here for a moment before I go finish with leg extensions. Failing on a set of bench or failing on a set of curls, it's not the same level as failing on squats. I'm gonna start adding squats in towards the end of my lift on the quads. Because honestly, unracking that, it felt like fucking 6 plates. All right, let's put this shit away. Let's talk about it during the pump check, but I think squats in the second half of legs is the new way to do it. So let's just hit this last set of single leg alternating and then be done. Okay. All right. Let's go check it out. Okay. Legs is officially complete. I'm starting to fucking think that squats pre-exhausted is the way to fucking do it. Especially because I keep fucking up my adductor from squatting super heavy. You know, I've kind of heard some old school logic where the basic premise that this guy was kind of preaching, I forget who, he was saying, your legs don't know how heavy the weight is. It just knows how heavy the weight feels. So his shit was like, I don't have to squat that heavy as long as I squat towards the end of the lift because my quads are already pre-exhausted. So the weight feels heavy, which, I mean, for bro science, that sounds pretty smart. But, I know that I'm not getting as much tension on my quads as I would on like my fucking 6 plate squat. So I don't know. But squatting mid lift compared to just not squatting at all, at least for me, I'm a fucking big fan. Oh, hamstrings are still fully pumped. Oh my God. Let's see, are they? Yeah, well, yeah, you can almost see a little something, but not fucking really. So, yeah, from now on, I mean, fuck, dude. We might be saying goodbye to the fucking 6 plate squats and saying hello to the 3 plate squats. Um, eh, I think I probably could have done 4 for 8, maybe. I mean, I really don't know. I'm not a power lifter. My estimation of strength isn't so, it's probably not so accurate, but I didn't want to go too heavy just because, I don't want to mess with anything in here. But dude, fucking solid ass combination of leg extensions, hack squats, and then barbell squats back to leg extensions. Dude, that's fucking perfect. So now, honestly, I've been kind of thinking about doing the squats later in the lift, but I just kind of put it off. Like, honestly, probably just from being a fucking baby and not wanting to squat. Dude, that's fucked. But I've been kind of like, I've heard that little logic of doing squats pre exhausted. And I think in my mind, I'm just so much of a fucking, I mean, not an ego lifter, but my ego takes over in terms of my subconscious thought. And it makes me say some shit like, oh, well, you're gonna be pre exhausted. Don't squat, do leg extensions. Yeah, no. I think squats mid to towards the end of the lift, I like that a lot. And then the hamstring pump was the same as usual. I don't think I'm going to come up with any new training methodologies for hamstrings apart from just fucking, going hard, maybe doing some more drop sets. Ideally, there would be a laying leg curl here, and I could have a buddy help me with assisted reps. So, he could sit here and, like, after I get pretty much to failure on my own, he can fucking throw the weight up, and then I can carry the negative down. If you watch the leg day with me and Fuad, you'll see we were doing some of those. That felt pretty fucking badass. So, fuck, man. I'm done. I don't have any homework to do tonight. I just got a bunch of steak from Kroger that I get to put in the sous vide. I'll leave that in there for maybe. It's kind of, well, you can leave a steak in the sous vide for an hour and it'll be cooked. But, dude, I honestly like putting them in there for like 5 hours because I can tell that it's way more tender. It's almost like a combination of like slow cooking stuff in a crock pot, but it's not so hot that it's well done. I mean, it's just perfectly rare. All right, now I'm going off on a totally unrelated tangent. I'm gonna do a little bit of calves. So 8 sets, light-ish, really just get a squeeze. And then I can get out of here. So I'll see you in the car, man. This is a badass lift.
Okay. More than a significant amount of time has passed. I am a fucking yapaholic. I I don't even want to say what time it is. I actually, you know what? I know what time it is. It's time for me to eat a fucking post-workout meal. That's what I need. So I was for one thing, I was just kind of talking for fun, but also I was talking to this one guy kind of consolidating like what muscles I feel, or well, I guess we were saying it, but basically I was kind of thinking about what I feel like I'm training well and what I think I need to, let's just say, adjust my stimulus or adjust my training methodology a bit on. So legs, I think this is a good step in what I now am starting to believe is the right direction. I think I may, like, it's cool to squat all that weight. And, like, I definitely think it adds to some squat strength, which kind of translates to just overall leg strength. But I don't think I've got a need to do those crazy heavy squats in the beginning. I think it'd be better for me to do lighter sets of squats after some pre-exhaust with, leg extensions or whatever else. Kind of giving myself a lisp with that gum I was chewing. No, so yeah, I think doing squats later on in the lift and doing a bit more volume in terms of maybe like, three or fuck man, even four sets with just the three plates, 20-ish reps. I've been hearing a lot of talk about, you know, older dudes who have built up some pretty serious wheels saying legs are gonna grow with some kind of high volume. And I don't mean like sets volume, I mean like high rep squeezing kind of burning sets rather than just, balls to the wall weight stimulating sets. And it's starting to sound pretty fucking right to me. So I definitely think that my leg days are going to change to look a bit more like this one today in the oncoming future. It's not like I think I'm going to get any benefits from it this exact moment, just because right now my training, since I'm not bulking, right, I'm just eating at a minor deficit. I'm really just kind of training for maintenance, right? Maintaining the strength I've already built, maintaining my muscle, and trying to peel off a little bit of excess body fat. But as this bulk progresses, honestly, I think training in this way, I'm going to see some legit quad growth, probably more so than before. Yeah. I've known it too. I know I've been neglecting my pressing volume for quads, but then again, I still love the leg extensions too. So I think a better balance is probably going to be good for me. And then the only other thing I think I want to change is with triceps, getting some overhead work in. I definitely need some more overhead volume just to get a different stretch on the long head so they can really hang off the bone. Like when you do a double biflex and your tricep just hangs underneath your arm. I mean, you got to think your tricep is 2/3 of your fucking arm for the most part. So bigger triceps, bigger arms. I don't even have to add another iteration to that. Bigger arms, that's the freaking goal. So I'll come up with some little jerry-rigged system or whatever. I'll definitely get some overhead stuff going. Because I don't love the overhead dumbbell where you've got a dumbbell like behind your neck. That just doesn't really, I don't really jive with it. But there are movements and machines that I've tried that I really like. Hey man, worst case scenario, I try to like negotiate with one of my gym owners or whatever, and we get one ordered. Actually, I guess that would be the best case scenario. But whatever, I'll see. I will freaking see. But other than that, I mean, I think I got the chest training down. I'm pretty confident in my abilities with my shoulder training and my bicep training, my hamstring training. I was about to say something now. I kind of forget. Oh no, back back training. I'm starting to adjust to. I'm gonna start doing some more lighter squeezing movements for back, and not on like every movement, but one of these past back days. And, when I say this is sort of just also a generalization of like minor changes I'm going to make to the style. But it was either the back day before last, I started off with real heavy pull downs. And then instead of doing heavy rows afterwards, I went a little bit more conservative with the weight and did the reps a lot more slow and controlled. And the pump was fucking sweet. The pump was sick. So it's kind of like I've been saying this whole time, an even mix of heavy, you know, tension stimulating sets combined with lighter squeezing sets. I mean, I know that's going to be giving me a solid pump. I think I just need to put my words into practice a little bit more, you know. So solid leg day. I know I'm going to feel that tomorrow. That was a good set of squats. That was a badass set of squats. It's been a pretty long time since I failed a set of squats. That is a good feeling. I just remember that I said some shit about that right after that set. Yeah, no, that was good. Honestly, I probably should have just sat there for another two, but what are you gonna do? So legs pumped. Dude, I'm fucking starving. I haven't eaten anything for a little while. I'm not concerned with like going catabolic and like having my muscle like waste away. just because you went a few hours without food after your training. But typically I would, well, not even typically, I would endorse, getting a little bit of carbs into your system post training, even if it's not like a ton, like a huge cluster dextrin shake post workout, like 100 grams of carbs worth of easily digestible, like not sugars, but powdered carbs, like even just a little something post workout, because you did just burn off some of your glycogen stores. I'm not so concerned with it because obviously in a bulking context, I'm trying to absolutely maximize my, let's just say, state of fedness. So you're never going to catch me going more than 2 hours without eating something, and that doesn't even have to be a meal. It could just be like some kind of snack or whatever. But yeah, it's been a little bit of time since I've eaten. I've got 110 grams of protein left, as well as I think maybe 50-ish grams of carbs. So I'm ready for a little bit of a freaking meal. I'm thinking pound of ground beef, browned, strained, 96% lean, of course. Add in maybe a little bit of fat-free cheese. Well, oh, add in some fat-free cheese. Oh my God, dude, fucking, whoa. Guy on an electric scooter just kind of jumped out in front of me. I'm glad this wasn't a dash cam incident. No, how was I? No, yeah. So ideally, I would have some fat-free cheese in the fridge, but all I've got is some. Oh my God, there's a cat. I'm getting so distracted. All I have is some like Kraft American cheese slices and like these pepper jack slices, which they're pretty good. The pepper jack slices, I was a little bit, what's the word I'm trying to think of? I was a little bit hesitant because I'm like, come on, it's probably not going to be that good. They were pretty fucking good. They were pretty freaking good. There we go. So maybe 2 of those. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Because each slice of those little, every slice of that cheese, it's 50 calories. And that adds up. That's not nothing. So would I rather have maybe like some, I don't know. I'll see. I'll figure something out. But let's just go with the plan now. Pound of ground beef, browned, 2 slices of pepper jack cheese mixed in, a little bit of sugar, well, not sugar free, but low sugar barbecue sauce. And then maybe pour some of that onto some, low carb tortillas. I mean, this sounds like a pretty freaking solid combination of a post workout meal if I've ever heard one. Man, that's all I got. So I'm going to eat that. I was about to say take all my vitamins, but I forgot I've been taking all my vitamins in the morning. So, man, all I have to do after that is, oh, all right, I lied. I forgot I have a ton of laundry to fold. How about this? We'll leave it in the air. What do you think? Am I going to fold it or am I going to just push it off to one side of my bed and sleep beside it? You know what? Only time will tell. But tomorrow's going to be a solid chest and side delt lift. Obviously, it's going to be, you know, what's the word? My brain's totally fried from not having any carbs in my system for a little while. Obviously, it's going to be after 30 minutes of morning cardio. So that lift will be, maybe more like 5 or 6 at night. And then I got my alarm set for 5:30. I've been good at waking up to it. So nothing wrong with just jumping straight out of bed and playing on your phone, getting that immediate dopamine surge. Actually, maybe that's not right. Maybe that is pretty fucking wrong. But whatever. We're really getting into some rambling mode now. So let's just both go about our business. And hopefully that's going to result in some muscular gains. I think that's what we're all striving for. So I will see you tomorrow for that.